Initially, it started off as business, and then he started to bring my race, me being Asian, me being sexy, but he would use derogatory terms, predatory terms.
Tell us, if you can, what kind of images and some of the texts that he sent you that were clearly inappropriate.
One in particular, his constant obsession was with Catwoman and Batman. The raunchy pictures were almost like dry sex poses, quite pornographic, which made me feel really, really dirty, to the point I wanted to really rip my skin out.
And he talked about Asian babes and bossy Muslim women. How did that kind of language, what kind of impact did it have on you?
I felt humiliated and degraded. I was already on my knees, fighting for this pension, fighting to get us out of the police, which I deserved. I was injured, and I felt like I was trapped. I had nowhere to go. Who do I go to? Who do I speak to?
Because he was your rep, your union rep.
He was the second highest in command, so who do I go to? Who do I complain to? He ensured that I knew that he was powerful, and indeed, he did prove it, because later on when I did report him, I was absolutely ignored.
I wanted to ask you whether you felt that by replying to him in quite a sort of friendly, informal way, do you worry now, looking back, that you might have encouraged him in any way?
Absolutely not. There's nothing that I could have gone back and changed.
Just explain now why you're suing the Met, on what grounds?
I didn't want to be in this position. I actually wanted to leave and just concentrate on my recovery. But when you've got such a shameful organisation that cheerleads misogynist, sexism, racist, homophobic men, and they're not listening to you, they're not even acknowledging that, then I need to use platforms to be heard to save other victims, not just police officer colleagues, but members of public. It's become so dangerous that I'm frightened for the public.
Cheerleads is an interesting word to use. Just explain a little bit more what you mean by that.
I believe that if they facilitated him, they encouraged his behaviour, they found it acceptable. Something, when he was sending racist, sexist, homophobic messages to me, he should have been arrested at least, investigated, but none of those things happened.
Well, at the end of last year, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, the IOPC, issued a report where they found he'd abused his power and used racist language. The Met said he would have been dismissed for gross misconduct if he hadn't already resigned. How do you feel about the fact that he was able to resign?
I am astounded, disgusted, because the Metropolitan Police exactly knew who this person was. They turned a blind eye. It was literally me being a silent lamb waiting to be slaughtered, and that's exactly what happened.
Was it a cultural thing of protecting their own sort of people?
They will be protecting their own sort when it comes to white men. If you're ethnic minority or a female, forget it. You're going to be eaten alive.
Was it this one-off, this guy who said these appalling things to you, or does the cultural problem go wider than that in your experience?
It's so vile that when I was in the police, I didn't realise how toxic the environment was until I left, until my eyes were opened. But, I can give you many examples where, my bottom was slapped, and I was told to be a good girl. If I was going to certain jobs, like a raid, I was told to heel up, wear short skirts.
Heel up meaning wear high heels?
Wear high heels with no tights.
You said the Met was institutionally misogynist. Is it actually any worse than society more generally? Is there something about the kind of qualities that are needed to be a police officer that attracts the kind of men we've been discussing?
Now being out of the police, I see how not normal the police is. They're committing crimes on a daily basis, slapping bottoms, making pornographic jokes, getting dildos, and it's absolutely accepted. And these men are then expected to go out and arrest people that are committing the same things that they're committing.
When you heard the debate going on after Wayne Couzens was sentenced, what made you want to speak out?
I feel that the public needs to know that the police is so corrupted, and if you
Sorry, take some time.
the police have bloods on their hands and they're answerable to members of public.
When you heard the Home Secretary announcing there would be an inquiry into how Wayne Couzens was able to do what he did as a serving officer, what should that achieve?
The police needs to be policed by an independent office like the IOPC in the interim, but really and truly they need an independent established management to take over, because the police can't be trusted to police themselves.
So the whole top level of the Met, in your view, needs to be sort of taken out?
Absolutely.
So effectively the Met needs to be put into special measures until they're capable of reforming?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, the female officer is now taking the Metropolitan Police to an employment tribunal claiming race and sex discrimination and harassment. Tonight, the Met told us they cannot comment in detail as the claim is ongoing, but that they took allegations of this nature extremely seriously and insisted there was no place for such behaviour in the force. They added that had Detective Sergeant Redgewell still been a serving officer, he would have been dismissed.